All right, folks, so this video will teach you how to write the body of your bill if your bill is amending current Minnesota law. So once again, I have the bill writing manual up on the right, and I have the bill I'm working on up on the left. And this is my bill relating to education that's eliminating government as a required class for a required graduation standard, okay? Let's actually see what it says here. Eliminating government as a requirement for high school graduation, okay? And I have my enacting clause, and then I'm going to be ready to start writing the body of the bill right down here on line 1.5. So here's the part of the bill writing manual that speaks to this. It says that the body of the bill is often organized, I'm reading the second paragraph right now, into sections and within sections into subdivisions. Okay, so here's the deal, is I am going to have a section for each section of Minnesota law that I am amending. Now, since my bill is only amending one section of Minnesota law, 120B.024 right here, right? That's the only section of Minnesota law I'm going to be changing. Then I'm only going to have section 1 in the body of my bill. If I was going to change 120B.024 and 120B.025, I would have a section 1 and a section 2 in the body of my bill. But we're keeping it simple. I'm just changing one section of Minnesota law. So it says right here that I have to actually follow this language. I kind of repeat myself. I repeat the final phrase that was in the title of my bill. So I can even see the example down here. Okay, section 1, Minnesota statutes, the current year, the section number, the subdivision, comma, is amended to read. So I'm just going to write that. The other thing to note is that the structural elements of the body are only single indented. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm going to write section 1. Oh, it's bolded. It should not be bolded. The only reason it's bolded on the right here is so that it stands out to you as an example. So I'm going to unbold that. Go section 1, period. And then what does it say? Minnesota statutes 2020, that's the last year that the legislature was in session. Okay, same section number 120B.024. Am I only doing one subdivision? I am, so comma, subdivision 1. Looks like I spelled subdivision wrong. Thank you. Comma is amended to read, colon. And it looks like I was able to fit that all on that line. So I'm perfect. Now, from this point on, I'm actually just going to be, so from this point, you will follow with the structure of the current law. So the text of my bill is going to be the same exact text of the current law, except where I want to change the text. If I want to remove text like government, I'm going to strike through that language. If there's information, if there's language that I want to add, I'm going to underline that language. Now, I'm not replacing the requirement for government with any other requirement. I'm just eliminating it. So nothing in my bill is going to be underlined. There's no new language. It's only going to be removing language. So here, I have to actually switch over and get the language of the law. And the easiest way to do this is just retype it. Okay. Otherwise, again, if you start copying and pasting, it's not going to be the same font size. You have to fool around with that. So it's a little laborious, but I'll get it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So. And again, it bolded on me. I don't want it to be bolding, so I'm just going to undo that right there. You'll note that subdivision, the first time we write it, it's written out in its entirety. Subdivision 2 is not, okay? Subdivision 1, period, graduation. And the only graduation is capitalized here. So a little note on head notes. I'm just going to pause here for a second and let you understand this. I'll get the A going. Okay, so the graduation requirements here on the right is what we would call a head note. Now, it's the head note of a subdivision. Really, you think of it as a title of the subdivision. And because it's the head note of a subdivision, it's bolded. So I'm going to go back and bold this. It's also written in mixed case. And by mixed case, you'll note that there's capital letters and lowercase letters. Up here, I have another head note. That's credits, but that's the head note. It's the title of this section of Minnesota law right here. So in that case, what I have, if it's the title of a whole section, it's going to be written in all caps, but it's also bolded. My head note, graduation requirements, I bolded it, and it's a mixed case, and I'm just going to continue typing. So I just copied it over. Students, beginning. Make sure I spell everything correct. It'll look correct to me. Beginning 9th grade in 2011-2012 school. Oh, and then I have to make sure, watch out for that. Go down to here. Okay, now I'm no longer indented. Only the structural elements are indented. So subdivision 1, it looks like that auto-corrected to 2 for me. I don't want that to happen. Was indented. Now I don't want to indent anymore. So I had students beginning 9th grade and just make sure I know where I am. School year. Again, there's that bold. Change it to bold. Okay. There's the graduation again. I went too much, so I'm going to click down here. Okay, it's probably bolded. I'm going to unclick it. And then I am at a new structural element, right? So now I have to go down to the next line, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, put in 1. And it bolded on me again. Okay, so in that case, I'll have to watch out for that autocorrect on the capitalization. So I'm going to keep doing that, right? I'm going to do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have to. The body of my bill has to include an entire subdivision. So even though I'm only changing paragraph or clause 5 here, I have to include everything through all the way up here at 7b. Okay? It's a little bit of retyping, but really it's easy. You're just copying it over. Now, for the purposes of what we're doing, I'm just going to jump right down to 5 and show you what needs to be done here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like that did not get 10 here, so let's do this. Just double check. Oh, I see what it did. It 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It auto-corrected my indent as well, which is fine. I'm just going to leave it, right? If it's going to do that for me, I'm going to put in 5. Unfold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe it'll autocorrect the spacing again. It might not. I might just align that up as best I can, but right now, let's just type it and see what happens. Okay. So I got 3 and 1/2 credits of social studies, comma, encompassing I'm going to have to, okay, now you notice that my table ran out, so I have to make sure that I got 1.11. Where I switch over to 2 doesn't matter. I can do that at any point I want. Okay, I just have to make sure I go to 2.0. And again, not a structural element, so I'm just going, it needs to be flush with the margin now. I'm just going to write government and citizenship and come back and fix that when I'm done. sufficient to satisfy. Looks like I'm going to have to tab again. 1.2. I notice that auto-corrected to capitalized history. I don't want that. What is I on? To satisfy. Oh. And I got a semicolon there. I got to match the punctuation. Okay. Just do these little edit pieces. Note that I would have to continue and do 6, 7, 7b, and then I'd be done. But this is all I'm going to do. Where it says government and citizenship, I'm going to highlight that. Now this is going to be hard to see over here on this side, but I am going to go to a date format. Is it text? Yep. There's text and strike through. Boom. There you go. Oh, you know what I need to do? Is I need to make sure that I grab that piece of punctuation also. Otherwise, I will end up with 2 commas because the punctuation might need to be removed as well. So text and strike through. I'm going to have to double check so that it'll go history, comma, geography, comma, world history, comma. I don't have an extra comma. Looks good. Might have to double check the grammar. Sometimes the grammar is going to change based on what you remove. But once I copy in the rest of that text from that section and subdivision of Minnesota law as is, I'm done. That's all I have to do because I've eliminated government and citizenship. I've stricken it through. If this gets passed by my chamber and the other chamber, signed by the governor, it will become Minnesota law. And there you go. That's how you write the body of a bill. Okay. If you are amending current Minnesota law, you start with section 1, you use this exact language, your section number is going to be different. You might or might not specify a particular subdivision. It's going to end is amended to read with the punctuation of a colon, and then you're just going to copy in the actual text of the law you want to change, striking through the language you want removed, underlining the language you want added. So let's say maybe I wanted to add, what's a different social studies? Let's put in psychology. And then I'm adding back in that colon, and this is all new, right? And I'd go back up to format, text, and underline. Bam. I'm replacing government and citizenship with psychology, but that's not what I wanted to do with my bill, so I'm going to delete that. There you go. Thanks for listening.